Damn. A bunch of people hitting the portal. Oh, wait a minute. Is it this week? The portal opens this week, I think. So they hitting early. What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36. And this is Big Games BS, part of Dim Media Group, presented by MFTKFoundation.com. MFTKFoundation.com. Go-to website for all things for my foundation. We're gonna be doing book bag drops, gonna be doing all kinds of other stuff. Getting ready to do stuff. Hey, did y'all get my text about yesterday? Was it yesterday? Man, next month we going to Jack's. I'm gonna buy a booth. We're gonna do a random ass show, and we're just gonna see who just comes by. I don't know if it's gonna do anything. I don't know if it'll actually give us some subs. Might try to give people free stuff, but like Jack's Beach has this thing called 904 pop-up, and it's like amazing food and like just art vendors and all kinds of other bullshit. I was sitting there like, damn, I want to come back to this. It was just like a cool little artsy thing we could hang up. But like if we did the camera and we just went over there and just ate all of the food, like ate something from most of the food trucks, it would be, yeah, that's what it looked like. That's exactly what it was, man. I was there on accident, vibing, going through depression. And then I'm like, damn, you know what? We're going to be there May 18th. So I don't know what's going to come out of it, but I got $200 to spare. I can tell you that much. But we may go do something there, try to get a backdrop, maybe get some reps before trying to go to Philly for the Pylon tournament just to see what's going on. What up, everybody? But I don't really have any pregame things to talk about. I do know we got a lot of Florida State news, a lot of other different news, and some of the news is different for me, but I'm rooting for some of these guys, man. One of our Florida State analysts, man, he put out a big old crystal ball for the Nico Amananawanapia guy, where he's going to go to school at. I got a text message though from a coach. But I hope he's right. I don't want him to be wrong. I want him to be right in all of this stuff because I know, they get a little testy and they want to start texting people and talking shit. Mind you, I walk right by all these cats and nobody said one word to me. Like, y'all reporters are starting to bother me, man. Y'all talk very festive and testy on the social medias, but never in real life when you get the opportunity. Use that in particular. Anyway, but before we start into our shenanigans, this weekend was a very good test of my faith, but I will not let anybody deter me from my newfound faith in whatever this motherfucker praying to, because I want to turn up every day to this prayer, and let's get our show started.
You already know what time it is, dog. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God. God is great. All the time. All the time. Thank you, God. Thank you, God.
I heard another F word. Man, it's such a good prayer, man. When they do the new Bible, they got to put that prayer in there, man. That's got to be in there in the new James version. Spring games going around, man. I feel more and more upset that we didn't have a spring game. The more stuff will be like this, but you know what we got? we're gonna have Jaden give us the breakdown and the rundown of what we're gonna talk about. So, what we got going, Jaden?
Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. So, April 14th, this is our Big Games BS After Work episode for today. Shout out to everybody for tuning in and all the people who will tune in later. This is Big Games BS, where we cover the good, the bad, and all the BS surrounding the sports and popular culture world. And today, you are in for a treat. First things first, we're going to start off with something a little bit different. Start out with the MFTK segment. Got two pictures right here we're going to discuss. This is near and dear to James' heart, so we're going to start the show off with that. Transition into college, we got some FSU football news that I and James will share with you all. Baseball, softball, score recaps, and some women's basketball news. Next, we are transitioning into the quarterback debacle from the SEC. That was a continuation from last week's episode. Tennessee's former quarterback, Nico Iamaleava, and where he will potentially land at his new school. Then we're going to look at the top 5 quarterbacks from the 2023 class and where they are at now. And then to end off the college segment, we have to report the sad loss of LSU wide receiver Kyron Lacy and the situation that unfolded there. Transitioning from Kyron, we're going to move to the NFL, have some infographics with the total number of draft picks in this year's draft by team. Then we're going to get into some more team stats as well. Then we're going to get into some player news. Transitioning that, the NBA playoffs are here. The casual fans have now tuned in to the league as the playoff starts, and we're going to start with the seedings and who James thinks will go all the way. Rory McIlroy won the Masters, so we're just going to have a shout out for him. Then we're going to finish the show off with our Big Games BS segment, where we bring our focus outside of the typical sport world, talk about some popular culture news. First things first, to start off our show, James, man, you had a big thing for the city, for some kids in the city. So, quote, shout out to 904 King, aka B5's Pops, and MFT.
That's wild. That's a wild way to put that in. B5's Pops.
Hey, the youngins know B5 for sure.
They do know B5.
So, James, your MFTK 7v7 team went down to the DR7 Nationals and was competing. They did well, finishing in the Final Four, and the uniforms are tough for sure. Got the Jags theme right there.
Uniforms definitely fire. We're gonna have the best uniforms next year. They're not domo; those are battles. One day I gotta I don't want to mess because I don't want to feel like I'm shitting on anybody. Because I don't really have any quarrels with them. It just didn't things sometimes just don't work. You know what I'm saying? But we don't got no. We have the black domos for the 12U, but my 14U ain't got no domo gear. My 18U didn't have no domo gear. My 12U only had one set of domo, and then we all have the teal unis. But Kobe went down there. We had Denny Thompson's son as a quarterback, Little Walker. If you click open the big picture, you gotta have a pilgrim. Yeah, you gotta have a white boy on staff, dog. Like my dog Walker in that thing fitting in, man. Like Walker, like, man, I'm one of the brothers too, man. But yeah, man, the boys went down there. We had some injuries, so we got a little depleted. And they got their ass whooped by Honcho Elite, which is out of Atlanta, good team. So we don't duck competition. We'll be really, really good. I can't wait to see what next year brings as we expand the nonprofit on this world and just really try to help these guys, help these young kids. There's guys who are like, do you know what MMTK stands for? Mentors for the Kids. And fuck what you think it stands for, bitch. Ho ass knee high. But bottom line is, we do what we do, and we're going to do what we do to a high level, and we're going to have a great time. And at the end of the day, winning We want to compete, we want to win, but it's about giving kids opportunities to change their lives and be able to get scholarships. So we did a lot of that this year. So especially with my 18U team. So shout outs to that. As we move on, as we move through as we navigate the 7-on-7 circle.
Speaking of getting the opportunity to get scholarships, this player on Mandarin has been getting those crazy offers and potential offers in Brian Harris. So Brian Harris was in Alabama for the spring game, and you can see him posted up with some familiar faces. Star wide receiver Ryan Williams. Then you got Mr. Let a Naysayer Know himself, Jalen Milroe, at the spring game as well. Got some other pictures as well with some of the staff and players from Bama. But man, James, Brian Harris at Bama, man, is this a potential parlay we're gonna see him in that crimson uniform? I think your mic's muted, James, if you're trying to talk.
That would be funny if he actually does go to Bama. Brian is immensely talented, nice. Boy, they're gonna work the shit out of him if he goes there. He got a mouth, man. Brian, they're gonna run the shit out of him. But bigger than this, Brian got his 4th star not too long ago. So shout out to him. You know, he's been traveling a lot. He says he's been working, so we'll see. We got I'm telling you, dog, May 22nd. May 22nd. Us versus Bowles is gonna be good. He's either gonna dominate, which he didn't play bad last year, just the first play out the gate, he got escorted out the club. And that was the first, and I wasn't there, I was at Trey's graduation. But when he went to Florida State last summer, they were like, man, he all right, but the first play, you know, I saw him getting driven 15 yards back, and that ain't what we need over here. We got enough of cats doing that. So I was like, damn. Well, big FSU fan though, so don't ask me why he ain't coming. They ain't offer. So, hey, whatever.
Shout out to Brian Harris. Hopefully the D1 situation and the school choosing goes easy for you, man. Keep grinding, keep balling out your senior year at Mandarin University, I might add. And now we're going to transition into the school that did not offer him FSU.
Hold on.
So we're going to start off this with some FSU news. Just going to continue on moving forward while James is on the phone call. Man, FSU fans were in a disarray after we found out that Florida State quarterback Trevor Jackson plans to enter the transfer portal. He tells On3 Sports. He's 6'3", coming in at 200 pounds, will have 4 years of eligibility remaining. He was named an Elite 11 finalist coming out of high school. Many were speculating if he was going to stay the path as a Seminole or hop in that portal, and he did hop in the transfer portal. He was sitting behind DJU, Brock Glenn, Luke K this past offseason during the 2-10 mishap. Definitely a dual threat coming out of high school from Florida. Definitely is a runner of the football as well. So, man, just good luck to Trevor Jackson on this next step in his college career, wherever he chooses to go. Oh, okay. Perfect timing. So, James, what are your thoughts about Trevor Jackson entering the portal, and where do you speculate him landing throughout this process?
HBCU, and I'm appalled at our fan base. And I'm appalled at our fan base, and I'm appalled at our beat. And here's what I want to say, because I don't want any. I absolutely love his story. He's a great athlete. He's exciting. But we know why he walked. He was a 4-star quarterback that walked on. That exactly. He got pushed out of the Ole Miss, but like he did. So everybody knows he's no relation here. Darion Coleman, the Miami commit. We all know who he is, right? He plays quarterback at Jones High School. He started quarterback last year. Do y'all know who the starting quarterback was? Where Trevor came from? Jones High School. Like, he lost his, like, it's not, and this happens. It doesn't mean he's not a good quarterback. It just means that he was a project. He was a project in a situation where the offensive coaches changed up. There's a turnover. He wasn't getting many reps. And what probably should have happened was what's happening now. The market is correcting itself. He probably should have went FCS at first, built it up, and climbed up the portal that way so that you're getting better. I want him to be successful. I like his story. But for an article to be written about him, for people to like, for an edit to be made about him, you know how many other walk-ons ain't going to be at Florida State anymore? Are we making edits for them too? Come on, man. Like, you cannot like Mike. You ain't got to defend him, but you ain't got to like him, but you ain't got to do all this. This is some BS. So, yeah. All right. Hit me on mute. All right. Go ahead, Jay.
Next, we have some other news, other transfer portal news coming from FSU as well. Let me blow this up for you guys. So, Florida State offensive lineman Jalen Early plans to enter the transfer portal. His measurables are 6'4", 305 pounds, and he started in 7 games and appeared in 17 in his time with the Seminoles. But the main point of emphasis is not that he's entering the transfer portal, but the quote tweet put above. So, we got Dro Sports said, quote, "With this departure, no one from the 2022 recruiting class by Alex Atkins is on the roster. Failure of a recruiter," unquote. So, James, what do you think about Jalen Early entering the transfer portal? And more importantly, what do you think about no one being left in that 2022 recruiting class from Alex Atkins?
I think this it's not a great look. But here's a guy who needed to grow into his body. Didn't really get a chance to see the field in the manner in which we wanted to. And Herb Hand is looking for a specific type of guy. And clearly he wasn't that guy. It didn't work out. No love lost. I'm not gonna like lose my shirt or lose my head for every kid that wants to come in or leave the program. Overreaction is not going to help us in any matter. So much success to you.
Speaking of success, wanted to share this infographic with the fans of FSU and of collegiate sports in general. I know there's been a lot of speculation about the FSU's potential movement from the ACC to another conference per the Big Ten, per the SEC. And many are wondering, why would anybody want to take FSU into their conference? And this is one of the biggest reasons. So look at this infographic right here. We see that Florida State ranks #1 in college football for most games played on ABC from 2004 to 2024, a 2-decade-long range. And shout out to Genetics56. He said, quote, "And people want to argue Fox Sports would want UVA or UNC over Florida State. Seriously, if you look at the data in this post and still think that, see a brain surgeon for new brain cells, as we know how important as we know as football fans, how important TV rights are to a football's program and to the university." So, James, I know this post was probably circulating through your group chats. What is your thoughts on the Fox Sports not wanting to have Florida State, or any news TV outlet not wanting to showcase Florida State's games?
I just think people are just trying to hate and try to say stuff. Like, I had a guy hit me up in my DMs, and it was funny because all these people sound like factual, right? It was college football rivalries. Yeah, biggest college football rivalries. It might just be somebody trying to look for some clout. I don't know if that's Anyway, 3.4 thousand followers, whatever. So he asked me this. I have to ask you this because I've seen some recent YouTube channels. You went to FSU, so I figured you could answer it fully. Is it that big of a deal to fly to Florida and to go see a game at Duke? Let's say I'm coming from Detroit. These channels are making it seem like you have to land in Atlanta and have to drive there. It seems like some BS to me. Like, people just say whatever. But what's funny is when everything changes, everybody's going to, the Josh Pates of the world, the Bud Elliott's, everybody's going to say, oh, we all like, actually, Bud's tune is changing already. But I remember in the beginning, they were like, you be an idiot. It's an ironclad contract. You can't get out of this. There's no way to get out of this. It's hard to get into Tallahassee. You know what? It's hard to get into anywhere where you don't want to go. And what's crazy is in the north, like, to fly into most places up north, you got to fly into a certain airport. Most of those airports are within an hour to an hour and a half distance from the parts around that major metro. I'm gonna tell you this. No, it's actually this is a great question for you. How easy is it? You went to Penn State main campus 1 year, right?
Yeah,
two. So how was it? Is it? Can you fly right into Happy Valley?
Hell no.
Okay, so first off, I'm gonna go from a perspective of an idiot. Not saying you, but like idiots who think that football teams fly and travel the exact same way that normal people travel.
Yeah, you got that.
So it's hard to get into Happy Valley. It's hard to get into Notre Dame. Notre Dame has a small airport, but you fly into Chicago to go to Notre Dame. It's hard to fly into a lot of the places that are in Indiana because they're not necessarily in major metros, but a major metro is not far from there. You're going to have to. There are no direct flights to most of the places on the fucking planet anyway. Yeah, I don't even know where that is in relation, but I know we fly into Boston.
Yeah,
and then we got to drive. Which is where we're going now. But like, I was telling the guy, I'm like, why would you fly into Atlanta? Well, you fly into Jacksonville and drive 2.5 hours. If you're going to just fly anywhere, fly into Jacksonville. But the thing is if you're going to have to get if you're a normal person, you're going to have to fly to, like, if you're flying Delta's going to make you fly to Atlanta, then you're going to fly from Atlanta into Tallahassee. If you're American, Tallahassee has an American thing as well. A lot of this stuff is not as hard to get to Tallahassee as people make it seem. You damn sure ain't got to drive 5 hours. That's it. If anything, you would fly into Orlando and drive 3 hours to get to Tallahassee. It's so many other ways to make this happen than that. That's if you were from a fan perspective. From a actual college perspective, they are not hopping 70 flights, like different individual flights to get on a plane. They are chartering a plane. The only thing you need for a chartered plane is a fucking airport. And Tallahassee has a big enough airport that you can charter in and you can charter out of. So, like, people are making the most asinine reasons for why they won't play. Cold. It's not snowing in October. Now, you may catch a bad day in November. That happens. But we play in Boston. I don't know if people have looked at a map at where Boston is, but Boston, believe it or not, Boston is higher than most of the Midwest. But we manage. We play Pitt at Pitt in the Midwest. We play Notre Dame at Notre Dame, and we play all these teams in November traditionally. But you know what they don't do? This is the real thing of why you should say the Big Ten does not want Florida State. Bitch, you got to play in Florida. I can put on layers of clothes and be okay. Once you get to sweating, you're fine. But when you get to sweating in the South, you're not. And there's no way to prepare. Not the heat. The heat is one thing. It gets hot up north and in the Midwest. Nothing prepares you for the humidity. For you to feel like you were playing football in a steam room. And that's where you got to really, that's what really happens. But they want to have a national conference. Florida State would not be buying a fucking hospital if they weren't trying to make changes to get into the Big Ten. There are a lot of other things that they got to do in the Big Ten to be able to make this happen, and that's one of those things. So, like, but again, on top of that, Florida State's one of the biggest brands in football.
Just to read off some of the numbers here, Florida State is at the top of this list for the most college football games on ABC by school from 2004 until 2024, with 97 games. Coming in, tied for second, is newly SEC acquired team Oklahoma and another ACC team in Clemson as well. So you see the top two dogs in that ACC lawsuit, Florida State and Clemson, having the most college football games on ABC for 2 decades. So just wanted to point that out, point out some of the facts associated with that. Moving on, staying in the FSU realm, we got some baseball recaps to get through. Baseball beat the Virginia Tech Hokies 4-2, and they were ranked 9th when they played them, but they're now jumped to 2 spots, and they are the 7th ranked. So in that top 10 still, moving up through the ranks. Love to see our guys keep doing what they're doing. Next, we got a softball score update for you guys. The Seminoles put on a masterclass against Cal, 16-3. Brought the brooms to Cal, signifying a series sweep. So shout out to the ladies. Shout out to Michaela Edenfield, number 51 right there. Keep doing y'all thug dizzle. Next, we are in the women's basketball world. So FSU got some news for a potential transfer. So we got Jasmine Shavers. She's a 5'8" guard from Mesquite, Texas. She is now part of the Lady Seminoles hoop squad. So shout out to Jasmine. Hope she has much success in the garnet and gold, and keep doing your thing. Next, we're going to transition from the FSU to the overall college landscape. And I know we mentioned this at the beginning of the show, but there has been major new discourse surrounding the Nico Iamaleava situation. So just to recap what happened during this situation, let me share this with you all right quick. Tennessee is moving on from starting quarterback Nico Iamaleava. Tennessee coach Josh Hoople informed the team of the decision at a team meeting. Iamaleava missed meetings and practice on Friday, which was the driver of this decision, if you guys did not know. And Josh Pate made a statement regarding Nico's situation as well. Quote, saying Nico and others threatened to opt out of last season's college football playoffs unless they were paid more NIL money. Quote, this stuff was happening last December during the playoffs with this kid included, but not just this kid. They're trying to get more money from Tennessee and other playoff teams before the playoffs. They were trying to leverage playoff participation. The explainer was, our client is being paid X amount of money to participate in 12 games, maybe a 13th if you make the conference championship game. But you guys made the playoffs. He should make more money. This is the kind of BS that's happening behind the scenes right now, unquote. Next, before James.
Go ahead. Keep on.
Okay, yeah, just got two more posts to talk about, and then you can give your ideas on it. Next, Dan Lanning is a snitch. Reports surfacing that Dan Lanning was the coach who initially contacted Tennessee head coach and let him know Nico was sniffing around for a deal. Wow, he's trying to stop him from getting his bread. Next, as we move on, James has some insight on the potential teams that Nico may go to, but there's a speculation that these were the top 3 teams: UCLA, UNC, and Tulane. So we're going to get some insight on that. But before, James, you give your opinion, Mario Cristobal was asked about the Nico Iamaleava situation and what his thoughts were regarding that. So we're going to play this for you guys in the chat. Let us know what you think. Is Mario tripping? And I'm excited to share this video with you all. So let us know what you think in the chat.
We're not going to do that at Miami. And I say that without any hesitation. You know, if anyone's thinking that, and they could be the best player in the world, if they want to play holdout, they might as well play get out. We don't want to do that. We don't want Miami to become that. Too many guys have sweated, bled, have laid it on the line on that field to ever become that kind of a program. We're not going to do that at Miami.
Man, the quote to take away from that was, quote, if they want to play holdout, they might as well play get out. Now, James, man of the hour, what I'm asking you is, what do you think about the Nico Iamaleava situation, how it reflects on the college football landscape, and where do you see him landing in this next college football season?
So, well, I mean, he got a crystal ball to North Carolina. So, you know, and by friend of the show, Brendan Sano, 247, he put that up there. So I'm not an insider or anything, so I have to lend to the experts. But I did get, I'm not an insider, but I do be inside sometimes. And let me see. Click, push that. Do you Coach Lance? I don't know. Somebody from North Carolina. Y'all taking Nico? No. Got it. That was the conversation. So I really hope that Brendan is correct with his information. I didn't see the crystal ball. I asked my friends if he really did put that crystal ball in. Somebody said it, but I don't think he's going there. I do, however, want to give Brian McFadden props, and this was no crystal ball. It was just looking at the facts that UCLA will probably be desperate and is back home. That would probably be a good fit for him to go to UCLA. And I do know Tulane just probably isn't the best fit for him. But it is crazy when you're in one of the bigger the conferences that everybody's trying to go to. You have an offense that was tailor-made to you. You've got receivers that are good. This could have been a great year for you. Instead, you decided to get wild. Can you go back to the holdout situation? The stuff that did they say Josh Pate said these things? Can you go back to that? Because I want to make sure I'm reading that, and I want to digest this a little bit.
Yep, pulling it back up for you right now.
And I want to be clear. I don't really give a fuck I don't see anything wrong with what Nico did. I don't see anything wrong with what Tennessee did. It's capitalism. Like, I have learned the art of not giving a fuck about things that don't concern me. A lot of you guys could probably could benefit from doing the same. One, when people speak so candidly about things, so intelligently about things, with so much information about things, my bullshit meter starts to go way the fuck off. Because how do you know all of this when there's only a few rules in all of this? It's not pay for play. Everybody going in this understands it's not pay for play. So if it's not pay for play, what is it then? It's a marketing deal. And if it was pay for play, our client is getting paid X amount of money to participate in 12 games. Maybe a 13th if you made the conference championship, but you guys made the playoffs. He should make money. He should make money. He should make money, or probably more money. This is the kind of BS that that is happening behind the scenes right now.
Why is negotiation? Yes.
Coaches get paid a conference championship bonus, a win bonus, a playoff bonus, an awards bonus. They get bonuses happen in every facet of our society. I don't have a problem with it because I, James Coleman, do not have a problem with capitalism. It does not bother me because it's not me. I cannot throw a football very far. I no longer can hit people hard and run very, very fast. If you can find a way, like I have no problem with the ask that Nico and his family made. Right. Ask away. You have every right to ask for whatever you fucking want to. And they have every right to tell you, fuck no. Right. This is the way business works. Like, why are people so mad about this?
That's what I was going to ask. What are they really mad at? What is his real issue? Because there's some underlying.
The underlying issue is this. People hate excellence. And they don't like when people are better than them. And they don't like when people are they don't like when they feel like somebody is ascending to a higher place than them because they haven't done anything with their life. Like, Nico getting paid doesn't make your Tennessee tickets any more expensive. Nico getting paid does not do anything. Nico not getting paid does not make your situation any better. There's no reason to hate on Nico. Now, I have no problem with you laughing at him when it doesn't work for him. Because this is on him. People overplay their hand all the time in business. I've been told to see the door a couple of times. Real good example that ended up when you bet on yourself, that's all you can do. I worked for a company called Titus Sports Academy. Titus gave me my opportunity to start in the sports performance business, taught me everything I know. I had just got married. My wife was going to college, so she couldn't work like that. I needed $300 a month. That would help me pay my cell phone bill. It would help me put a little bit more money to the side so that I could live and provide for my new family. I negotiated it. I asked. They told me no. I said, you know what? I put my 2 weeks notice in. They fired me on the spot. I'm still to this day, I'm still mad about it, right? But it was $300 a month to just do. I was the one who brought in all the business. I did the training. I was the face essentially in the city. No, I was getting paid. I was getting paid at that point when we had just shifted everything. I think I was getting paid like $45,000 or something like that. So I needed a little bit before tax, and they salaried me and all these different things, but I needed an extra $300. Right. Like really $300 before tax, right. But I needed an extra $300 to be able to make some moves, make some things happen. They told me no, so I said, "Cool." I put my 2 weeks in. I figured I could actually, finish those 2 weeks. We had some very high-end clients. A client could probably help me get a job. They fired me. I was like on the like Craig fired me on the spot. Now Craig did hook me up with a week's worth of pay, but and I love Craig to death for that. But the only thing I was mad at Craig was Craig could have told me hey, I told my guy who told me to put my 2 weeks, and I said, I know what's gonna happen. He's gonna fire me. And the dude Adam, and he was just like, which is ironic. Everybody loves Adam's son. A lot of Florida State baseball fans are in love with. His last name is Farrow. If anybody who follows FSU baseball, his dad was I still have an issue with his dad because I've known his dad. I knew his dad when I was 16 years old because I started training with them. And then this is how they did me, and I known them. But it was business. I was mad because of the personal aspect because I knew him, but it was business. They had every right to fire me. I had every right to ask for them more money, and they did what they needed to do. I struck out on my own. I made $100,000 in that first year doing things on my own, made exponentially more money. Titus closed in 3 years. I ascended. Titus closed for a whopping $3,600 a month in 3 years. If they would have paid 36, was it 36, 72, 10-8. All they had to do is pay 10. No, that's wrong. 11-8, if I remember correctly. Make sure I might be off. $12,000. For $12,000, Titus Sports Academy could have stayed open for longer than 3 years. Had they just done that, I would have been happy. But at a certain point, you have to be able to say, this is where we stand. And I appreciate that. Tennessee is either going to be successful or they're going to flounder. I don't believe all of the other shit, though. It doesn't benefit you. Like, when you're in the college football playoff, you're trying to make that money. You know you're either going to negotiate next year or you're going to the league. But it's a cool story. And it sounds great. But I'm so tired of all of this anonymous, the detailer, the this. Bitch, put a fucking name on it, dog. That's what I'm saying at this point in our life. Say it with your whole chest. Name the players. Stop talking about anonymous, because you're saying these things and you're saying it to be true, and it's all illegal based upon what the actual rules of name, image, and likeness is. And you know these cats will just tell you whatever you want to tell you. It's not like Josh Pate ain't lied to you before. It ain't like these guys. These guys are reading off of a script to make sure you get the clicks. And y'all want to be lied to so bad. Like, you're worse than a delusional woman. You don't want to know the truth. You want to believe the lie. That's why you guys will, no matter what situation, no matter how many times a crystal ball is wrong, no matter how many times anything is going on, that's what it is. Yo, my guy I don't know what's wrong with Seymour. I like Seymour, my guy. I don't know why. I mean, I ain't got no quarrels with Seymour. I don't really like Seymour asked me to help raise money. I retweeted something. Sam is Sam, man. Y'all know Sam. Hey, so real talk though. I found out, you ever looked at somebody and be like, damn, this person reminds me of something or someone. And I can't put my finger on it. And I've known Sam is a good dude. I like Sam. But Sam has always reminded me of somebody. And I never could put my finger on it. It was weird. It was bothering me. But remember Waldo from Family Matters? But it was like, so it was bigger than Waldo. Hold on, let me see if I can go back and find it. It was a scene from Moesha where Moesha broke up with Q. And when I looked at it, I'm like, man, Sam dresses like him. His haircut is like him. Like everything, like Sam is
Waldo Faldo.
Yeah, like we got a picture of Waldo.
I'll pull one up.
But man, let me, if I can find this one, because Waldo Faldo might be a little bit bad, because like he was like early 90s, and like I don't know if he was like early 90s, like, you know what I'm saying? But like, but it was a clean walk, because I shared it in my group chat, and I forgot, you know, this group chat be popping, you know. Sometimes they be like they be like 2,000 messages in, man. I'd be like, bro, y'all got to find some shit to do. But I just like, the only reason I remember that is because somebody put in there about Sam, and I was like, damn, you know, that's what it's Sam. Okay, here it is. I got it right here. I wonder how good the camera is. I'm gonna show you guys this. He talks like him too a little bit. See if man, come on, dog. Give me this noise. Man, anybody still hurt from William Jerome, bro? They gotta let that William Jerome Taggart hurt go. This is muted. Well, anyways, you can't really hear it, but when you see, obviously that's Q. But you about to see this dude. Like, look, you see that dude right there in the jean? Sam dressed like that now. That's Sam's haircut. That's Sam's mustache and goatee. Like all of that stuff. That's my dog right there, man. I fucks with Sam, dog. Anyways, though, I know Sam's with Mark. Sam's speaking with Mark Rogers now. And he has his podcast. Y'all go support Listen Up Podcast. Go do those different things. And hey, you said Ron DeSantis. Damn, Miles, that's a big deal. Like, is it somebody texting you from Ron, or like Ron just? No, I'm about to say, damn, Ron is like, what's up? I say Ron DeSantis is hitting you up, dog. But yeah, I don't, like I said, though. Like if you don't like somebody's stuff, just don't listen to them. Don't entertain them. I don't know what they be saying. Like when it comes to all the stuff, I don't have nobody blocked, but like I don't really know what's going on. But I do know this, that Nico onomatopoeia thing is crazy to me. And I don't know. No clue. What the direction it is, but I know this. I love me some goddamn college football. And everybody keep talking about how bad college football is, but it's going good.
We're going to get into some quarterback talk right quick surrounding the Nico Iamaleava situation. Want to share this graphic with you all. So, every five-star quarterback besides Arch Manning in the 2023 class has left from their original school. So, you see Arch Manning coming in at the top, staying with Texas. And we were talking about Nico coming in at number 2. Obviously hit the transfer portal, so that is a TBD on his team. Many people speculate that he will go back home, like Jason was saying, to UCLA, since UCLA's former quarterback, Dante Moore, is now at Oregon. Then you got Jackson Arnold, who was
Wait a minute. Does Nico really have a mustache like Smiley from Training Day?
It looks like it.
Yo, that's terrifying, man. Like Smiley was the Mexican guy, which is he's not Mexican. I was disappointed. Because he's like from New Zealand or some shit like that. But nah, that's crazy.
You got Jackson Arnold, who was at Oklahoma, now at Auburn. And then you have Malachi Nelson, who was at USC. Now he's at UTEP. That's a crazy transition from
That's wild.
It's from LA to El Paso.
From LA to Mexico, basically, because El Paso is basically you can't even get into a fight with a Mexican in El Paso because you might be messing with the cartel.
Yeah, you going from titties to tortas. Not good.
Tortas. Unless the torta makes a good gordita. Because man, I'll tell you what, that mini fridge could have got it. off of the spices, the salsa alone.
No, yeah, it definitely looked good. The gordita definitely looked good. Sad to say that we're gonna cap off this college football segment of Big Games BS with some tragic news from LSU. So, if you guys did not know, former LSU wide receiver Kyron Lacy has passed away at the age of 24, and we're gonna get into the details of this situation courtesy of ESPN. Like I said, ex-LSU wide receiver Kyron Lacy died in an apparent suicide. Authorities say he was found dead Saturday night in Houston, and he died in an apparent suicide in his car while being pursued by authorities. So, according to Harris County authorities, police responded to a call from a female family member who said Lacy had discharged a firearm into the ground during a verbal argument late Saturday night. When they arrived on the scene, they learned that the suspect, Lacy, had fled in a vehicle. Authorities say the pursuit of Lacy ended when he crashed. They say that when officers approached the vehicle to extract Lacy, he had died from what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Lacy was 24, and he was pronounced dead at the scene by emergency responders. responders. He had been facing criminal charges stemming from a fatal car accident in Louisiana in December. Now we're going to scroll down a little bit. So Lacey's attorney had these remarks, quote, "It is with profound sorrow that we confirm the tragic passing of Kyron Lacey. First and foremost, we ask that the public and media give his family the space and time they need to grieve this unimaginable loss in peace." If you guys did not know, Lacey declared for the NFL draft in December 19th, 2 days after the crash, and did not play in LSU's win over Baylor in the Texas Bowl. He participated in March at LSU's Pro Day, however, and was ranked as high as the number 6 receiver prospect in the draft by ESPN's Mel Kiper. Lacey was not ranked among the top 10 available wide receivers in Kiper's most recent big board, which was published last month. He played 3 seasons at LSU after starting his career at Louisiana. Lacey had his best season last year when he caught 58 passes for 866 yards and a team-leading 9 touchdowns.
Damn, I didn't realize he was 25 years old, man. Jeez. But or turning 25 this year. All right, we got lighter stuff that we're going, because I'm gonna get into this right here. I'm gonna delve into this, and this is gonna be some real talk. So like right now, and I'm gonna say something real. A safe space. Like if you got questions about this or opinions, I really want to hear, whether it's Twitter, whether it's anywhere. I really want to hear everybody's opinion, and I'm going to I'm gonna put a personal twist into this. I'm gonna use some other different things into this, and I'm not speaking from a place of blaming anybody for this, because at the end of the day, suicide is solely on the person who committed suicide. Suicide is extremely selfish, but at the same time, suicide was a cry for help, and it was the last cry that anybody heard. And man, do we have the Sports Den number on there? Let me see. I'll shit. If you really got something that you really want to add to it, now if you on that bullshit, we're gonna end that thing real quick. But we got the Wi-Fi connect that we could do with the thing, right? With that. Yeah, so 904-204-0242. So if you want to call in like with that, because again, this is a really, really serious subject. Now, I want people to realize this, please. Do not call this number if you're watching this on the rebroad. Please do not call this number. But call this number right now, like if you're listening live. It's fine. But Kenny Lacey is his father, and he says this, and this is real. Young parents, start talking to your kids at a very early age, and make sure they are confident and comfortable confiding in you. Don't be cool with "I'm all right" or "I'm good" when you know deep down something isn't right. Mental health is real, and for the most part, it's invisible. Don't ignore the signs, even if they may seem small. Our lives have changed forever, and this will never be okay. But God needed my baby more than he was needed here. This has to be the biggest pill our families have had to swallow, but I know the love and compassion in our families will get us through. This will never get easier, but we'll learn to live with it. Check on your kids' mentals. And that's all very true. I made this post because it was very real to me. The situation is unfortunate. Hopefully a lot of good dialogue is had from it. But more importantly, it's time for parents to admit that it's easy to say come to them, but it's harder to admit that it's not easy when you are the problem, especially when a lot of these young men live their lives trying to impress you. They have a platform that is easy to brag on them when they are doing well, and sometimes we love that attention because our peers see it. then something happens that is not the best. In the Lacey situation, the vehicular homicide case. And not only is everything turned upside down, but you no longer get those cheers. Your harshest critics become the folks that you look to for praise because they are now getting criticism. So don't just say open up. Make sure you're actually capable of your child being able to be vulnerable to you. The comedian Ryan Davis talks about it in his comedy special and on The Breakfast Club about just talking to your parents. It's tough, but at the end of the day, it was tough for them too. And what I mean by this is Ryan Davis opened up on The Breakfast Club. He talked about telling his mom his traumas and talking about them in his comedy specials. Anybody in here ever told your parents about anything that they might have done to you that might not have been the greatest? Have they ever just said, oh my God, baby, thank you for opening up to me. I feel better now. Not one of us have had that experience. Oh, well, I guess I was just the worst parent in the world. You throw the temper tantrum that you would beat us for when we were younger. And it's even more so evident when it comes to an athlete because you are at the highest level that anybody could even fathom. And for this young man, I know he had to feel I fucking killed somebody and I got to go to court. And the way my trajectory was, my career and my life is over. One of the hardest things I ever had to deal with as an athlete was my career being over.
Let me interject right here before you get back to your point. Kyron Lacey was accused of causing a crash that killed a 78-year-old man December 17th and then fleeing the scene without rendering aid or calling authorities. On January 12th, he turned himself into authorities, was jailed, and then released on $151,000 bail. So the Louisiana Parish Sheriff's Office records indicated that Lacey was charged with negligent homicide, felony hit and run, and reckless operation of a vehicle. A grand jury was to begin hearing evidence in the case today on Monday.
It's no coincidence, man. And I know his attorney was very optimistic, and most attorneys are. You got to be optimistic. Why would the fuck would I hire you if you think I'm guilty, you know? But I'm not even saying that, you know, it's tough. I know what it was. And again, this is no blame for the parents because I don't know what it's like. I can only speak for me and what a lot of other people. But I do know when your career is over, it is hard to look into that because people, when I said I was done, are you sure? Oh my God, you're so young. You should do it. And I had to tell people, the only person who can go through 2 days and get hit is me. Y'all ain't going through that. Man, you should keep playing. People were bragging so much. But I can also tell you, as a guy who truly, truly lives for the adoration of his mama, I've grown up with my mama telling me that people said I was a bad kid when I was coming up. But I've also seen those same people that said I was a bad kid cheer and put my mom on a pedestal when I was scoring touchdowns and when I was doing all kinds of other different things. I remember when those people said I would never make it, and I'll never forgive them and never forget them for saying those things. But I do know that my mama lives by those cheers and she dies by those, and she dies by the boos. I know that there are times, like, because I've heard it. She's told me what other people say, where I'm just like, fuck them other people. She's not like that. Doesn't make her bad. Just she's not like that. And I, tell her like I've had her tell me one time she failed as a parent. You know how heavy that is to tell your child that when nobody believes that, like, at all. Like, people tell you how great your kid is. Your kids are. And that's me in a situation like this. And so I can empathize with that young man not being strong enough and making a bad decision with accountability, and then having to deal with not only him having to deal with it, his parents have to deal with it. His parents have to hear about how he fucked up, how bad it was. Like, it's a wild scenario, man. It's a wild situation. And he couldn't deal with it. And you tell him to come tell you anything, but like, what do you like? And I'm not even hating on the dad because I don't know what I would be like if my son came and told me, Dad, I'm getting or if I found out my son got arrested for vehicular homicide. I'm sure my first reaction is not going to be pleasant. But I'm also certain that I would try to figure out how we can get through this. This is why I always tell my son, you don't have to hide from me. You can, I may not always like it, and I'm going to try my best to respond the best. But like, if you don't tell me the truth, then I don't know how to fix it. But if you tell me the truth, then I'm going to know how to fix it. And I'm going to be your number one supporter, regardless of what anything happens to you. As long as you don't lie and say, like, I ain't never did shit for you. Because really, right now, my entire fucking life revolves around my kids. But like, he just did not like it was some things torturing that young man's soul, man. And I don't want people to just say, let my kids can tell me anything, man. Like, because it's not true. A lot of y'all are not like the most open people like that can, and it's okay. A lot of this shit they dealing with is pretty fucking heavy, man. In particular, that athlete world, when you are so goal oriented, so performance driven, so performative based. To like you like when you don't feel like you got it and nobody else really understands you, you feel so alone, like alone, because nobody else knows what you're going through. All anybody really sees was how cool it was for you to have ascended to that height. And that from that height to go from everybody knowing who you, it's actually only one thing that's worse than going from everybody knowing who you are to nobody knowing who you are. It's everybody knowing who you are for the worst reasons. Like, I'd rather disappear than be known for that. And it doesn't go away. Your whole life, you'll have to answer for that. And unfortunately, that young man did not have didn't have the resilience or feel like he had the backing to be able to go through all of that. And I do think sometimes when that happens, we do have to go look into the mirror and ask, was his circle, was his village, was his people good enough for him to be able to deal with that? And I would have called, like, I mean, if you know somebody's threatening their life, man, you got to call the police, man. Because you're not, again, I'm not, like I told somebody the other day, they were like, somebody's dealing with, I'm not a shrink. I'm not qualified to deal with those things. Like, I got to call you, you got to get help. But if you don't go, but again, so it's a lot of stuff, man. Like, you know, and then sometimes as parents, man, again, we hear shit and we don't want to hear that shit. Like I say we, like I'm because I am one, but like, you know, like, I don't care, man. She can listen to this, not at all, man. But like, bruh, like, I have my mom ask me straight up, tell me, why do you describe it like it was so bad growing up? And I don't at all. I actually think, I mean, maybe y'all think because y'all hear it, but I actually think my childhood was great. But my mom was like, it wasn't that bad. We weren't that poor. Woman, we were on free and reduced. I was on free and reduced lunch my entire time in school. I don't know if you guys realize what free and reduced. Does anybody in the comments know what free and reduced lunch is? It is literally a government program for poor people. Like, you might not have thought that, but your tax return thought that. And there's nothing wrong with that. It happens. It caused stuff, but like, I had my mom literally told me, like, I say, woman, it's documented. And the crazy part is when I say those things, I say it because I've never been in that situation before as an adult. And I still struggle to raise 2 kids with help. And so like, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, again, because again, this is why I was saying I can empathize with him. I can empathize with him because it happened. I happened. A lot of these other things happen. You're not embarrassed because we went through it. You're embarrassed because people know we went through it now. And they didn't know then. Like, so I can only imagine what Lacey's parents felt like and what he got, because you are lashing out because of how you feel, because of the effects of the negative effects of that. My dad definitely wasn't. I wish my dad was well off. My dad was living his best life, but like my mom wasn't. So, but you know, it is what it is. Like I said, a lot of those things it's an income based thing. Like your taxes tell you, like, hey, show this. But anyways, though, man, it's all good. Like again, I not all good. I hate for that, but let's go get some livelier, some less heavy shit like that could like I feel bad for that young man. I feel bad for because what's wild is Saturday morning LSU we talked about Colin Hurley from LSU. And Colin Hurley's family and LA put out a statement with LSU about how Colin's fully recovered. Who was in a car wreck. Single car wreck. And then you saw this situation right here, man. And college is tough, man. College is tough.
Yo!
Wow, two, you gotta hit that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm proud of y'all boys, bro. Appreciate it. Love you, brother. No, we talked about this. Shit, dream, brother. You next, though. Keep thinking. Love you, brother. Love you too. Love you too, brother. Lay out, bro. Love you, bro.
My brother, Kyron Lacey, he's been there with us. It was a big 4 for sure. You know, I'm excited for him. I know he's happy for us.
I was hoping to watch the video. Probably.
I'll say this though. One cool thing. Shout out to my brother AC. Shout out to shit. It's a couple people. Shout out to a couple people that do when they do. There are some cool shit that does happen in the world. Like when you, like people be looking for like when something ain't like you, and they see something and they'll be like, "Hey, you all right?" I'll be like, some of that shit. Sometimes that shit be a little annoying, but it was cool. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate people for, especially today. I did gotta get lawyers involved, but it was nothing overly bad. It's just some bullshit at my son's school that I got to deal with. But like, I do appreciate people like, "Hey, man, you all right? Everything good with you?" Like, yes, man, I'm good. But that was dope. But that just made me think about that. Like, don't just cheer people on when the goods happen, but also make sure you're paying attention when the bad shit happens too with people.
Yes, just wanted to share that last video with you all. That was when former LSU players Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors got drafted in last year's draft, and they had that Zoom call with Kyron. That's why he told them they were up next, and just a little tear tugger right there, and just a way to cap off our Kyron Lacey segment. RIP to Kyron, man. Sad to see you gone. With that, we're going to move on to some NFL news, starting out with this year's NFL draft, 2025 draft, and let's see how many picks your favorite team has. So these are the number of draft picks per each NFL team. Starting off with the home team, the Jaguars, we got 10 draft picks in this year's draft, but the Vikings have the least amount of picks with 4, and the Ravens have the most with 11 draft picks. James, any surprising numbers you see on the board? I know for me, the Ravens having 11 draft picks could be scary.
The last thing you need is 11 picks, man. Package some of them things up and get out. Like really, everything after the 4th round is a crapshoot. Like you're probably not making that roster. I hate that you got to hear it from Big Game, but this is the truth. But I do. I mean, like I said, who is it? San Fran's gonna have to use a lot of their picks. The Jets are going to need a lot of their picks. I think the Jags will use all 10 of theirs because they're trying to find people that fit what their new scheme is. It's going to be interesting, though, to see how a lot of this stuff goes, though, because the NFL draft is a crapshoot. And, man, I got to find out where we're doing it. I forgot that they're renovating the damn stadium. So, like, I don't even get to do the draft. We're not doing the draft party at the stadium. We're going to be doing it at the Lemon Bar. Have you been to the Lemon Bar, the new Lemon Bar, Miles? I think so, but, you know,
I used to go a lot.
But that's where the NFL draft party is going to be at. And so Chris is like, we got to go to the Lemon Bar. I'm like, man, all I can feel is hot. It's heat. Hopefully, if I have to wear a new suit, though, I will have some new suit. My suit should be in by then, so I'm gonna be flying in the motherfucker next week. So, but I will prefer to wear a polo shirt and some slacks. But I will have some fly shoes on. I don't know which shoes I'm going to wear, but I'm going to definitely wear fly shoes. Do the Knowles have more than 3 drafted players? No, we only have 2 that I just believe are draftable. I don't think. I mean, they may draft a kicker later on, but I doubt that shit. Like, but I do believe AZ will get drafted, and I do believe Farmer will get drafted. Toa didn't run a good 40 time, if I remember correctly, but I think we'll have a lot of guys on NFL rosters, though.
Speaking of NFL rosters in college, these are the colleges with the most Hall of Fame players in NFL history. Notice the asterisk is Hall of Fame players. Coming in at number 1, you got USC out in Cali with 14 Hall of Fame players. And then, sad to say, the U coming in tied for number 2 with 11 Hall of Fame players, tied with Notre Dame. Then you have Pitt, Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama, Syracuse, Arizona State, LSU, Penn State, and UCLA rounding out these 12 teams. James, which team surprises you with the most Hall of Fame players in NFL's history from this list?
Arizona State. And Alabama surprises me for how little they have. I thought they would have more. But yeah, those would be the only ones that surprised me.
For sure. Definitely Arizona State was a surprising one for me as well. Just wanted to get your opinion on that for sure. And speaking of opinions, man, I wanted to get your thoughts on something that resonates with the Jags, obviously, Trevor Lawrence, and the 2021 quarterback draft class. So I'm just going to read you some of these players, James. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Mac Jones. 4 seasons later, what do we think about these quarterbacks' progression so far, since it has been 4 years since they've been drafted?
You're trying to get me bammed.
No, not at all. Just for content. Just for content.
Mid. Like, I mean, what do you want? Like, Zach Wilson should have never been in that conversation. Zach Wilson had a hot mom, and apparently his mom's friends tried to bang him or something like that. Trey Lance has done absolutely nothing. The only person who likes Trey Lance was JJ. Remember JJ used to talk about Trey Lance all the time, Miles? Mac Jones. Does Mac Jones have the most wins out of all of them? No, Trevor had to have the most wins because we had the playoff run. We had the playoff run in almost 2 of them. So the only one I feel some semblance of sorrow for is Justin Fields has never really had a chance to just flourish. But 2 of these guys were considered generational talents. And that's Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. Those are the only 2 who still have an opportunity to be able to play in the NFL as a starter. Trevor has both of them have all the tools. I think the thing that stops both of them is the thing that's between their 2 ears. It could be the things. It could be their eyes, nose, and brain, if you want to put it together. The nose lets me know they smell like shit when they play. The brain makes me question what they compute, and sometimes I wonder what they see with their eyes. Having to follow Trevor Lawrence and to see Jag fans come up with new excuses every day. They will tell you you're a non-ball knower if you have anything bad to say about Trevor Lawrence. At some point, not at some point. This was 4 years. This is 4 years ago. Well, actually 21, 22, 23, 24. We have 4 seasons, so this is the 5th season. We've had guys come in with 2 years that have outperformed these guys. Caleb Williams literally beat Trevor Lawrence head to head. Again, that draft class, it leaves a lot to be desired. That's the easiest way to discuss it.
Yeah, there was a lot of discourse surrounding this post and just the overall sports community with these quarterbacks, seeing who will have a fair shot at panning out in the league. Next, we're going to discuss a player we mentioned earlier with the Kyron Lacy situation, but this player has been going viral in the media, not for him, but for his mom. So Jaden Daniels was seen dancing at a wedding, and guess who was in the background, ladies and gentlemen? She's always there. So I'm going to play this video for you guys, get a quick laugh in, and we'll ask James a follow-up question.
Oh my God. Yo. Jesus. Well, you know what? Let me just not. I ain't gonna judge, man. I ain't gonna judge. Man. I'm judging these dances, though.
Yeah. They're having fun.
Yeah, you know, it's just no harm, no foul.
Supports my theory. Football players aren't cool.
They're not. Nobody. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know who's cool? The guy who wakes up and does the morning routine thing with the face. Like, I believe he's actually really a cool person. Like, he used to play football, but he wasn't any good at it. He had to genuinely come up with something organic. His body is physically fit. He's had to do things to be cool. He's had to learn how to be cool. He probably smells like whatever the most expensive cologne he could wear. His clothes are well tailored. He does these different things. Most of us are only cool. I mean, me too. We're cool because we were really, really good at something, and it put people in places to do things. Like, if you're real, like, all right, I know a lot of people gonna hate this. The conservatives are gonna hate this because they hated my guy Obama because they didn't want an African in office. But now they got an African in office running the office with Doge. Elon Musk, there's nothing you can do to make me believe Elon Musk is cool or has ever been cool. He's just rich. It's like people say 4-5 is he's going to be tough on tariffs. There ain't shit tough about backtracking and always saying you talk tough, but you're not tough. You ain't never been in a fight. And that's okay. You're just really, really rich. People make excuses for people who are really, really good at something or really, really, really rich. Right. And that's what it is. And like Jaden, like these guys are corny. They're cornballs. And
good for them.
I love the thing I'm liking more about these guys is they're embracing their corniness.
Yeah.
Nothing better than being a weirdo and knowing it. Just because I don't agree with just because I don't understand it doesn't mean, you know what tends to happen? If you're so confident and cool in your weirdness, you become cool.
Yeah. Fact.
My old business partner, Lonnie Martz, his son, L, which is Lonnie Martz the fourth. I'm talking about this kid was a homeschool kid, real good athlete, should have been better in football. If they would have put L at another school his senior year, he would have went top. But everybody was worried about his level of competition. He was good. It wasn't in him like it was in his younger brother. I would go in the back, L be listening to like classical music and shit. L would be talking about some lame, corny ass shit. But you know what? I was like, that shit sound cool as fuck the way he say it, though. Like, it's corny to me, and I don't like it, but the way he was, it made it kind of cool. And what's cool now is corny.
Yeah, now everybody's trying to hop on.
Like, Miles, you in a whole Miles, like, yeah, like
I'm here,
bruh. I'm like,
hair on my head's been the same for years. Y'all are just
like what was it somebody said? Like, all right, some of it the people didn't get picked on because they watched anime. It got picked on because they went Super Saiyan in front of the hoes. Like, that's really why you got picked on. But what happened was, like, I remember when Dragon Ball Z got big in Tallahassee. My friends would come and talk about fucking Dragon. My boy Brian got his hair made like one, like he had a big fro, but he had it all spiky, like the one dude.
He's an OG with it.
And I'm like, and I didn't know what it was until they started showing me. They would be drawing the pictures and shit. I'm into, but you know what? Here's the thing. They were into Super Saiyan and shit. I was into old school hip hop at the time, drawing graffiti, writing rhymes, doing all this other stuff. Everybody has a thing. Their thing was just more corny to me. And like, I can't get mad at it. But you know, but that's cool. Like, but mama, you gotta go. Mama needs a cheeks clap, man. Like, brother, Jaden, I am begging you, dog. Go find somebody for your mama, dog. For your sanity. Cause you're not gonna find a woman. Like, she's not gonna help you find a good qualified woman. But then again, I don't really know. Now that I said that, now that I said that, no. Go get you a. I'm trying to think about what I want to say, man. I think he should go. I think what they should just go. You don't gotta go to the DR, right? But you might have to go to the Build-A-Bitch workshop. Like, well, that's why I call it a DR. But like, he has enough money where he can go find a really just good, a decent, wholesome girl. And like we don't, like, that's the crazy thing about men who really got stuff. Like, you don't really need to, like, you don't need her to be a lawyer. Like, that's a woman. Like, I don't need a lawyer woman. I'm rich. I'm the rich one. So like, what I need is one that ain't gonna give me a headache. But his mom is a headache right now. She's a headache to me, and I'm sure he loves his mama though, because I get it, man. That shit gonna turn one day on him though. I don't know.
The dating pool.
Yeah, but she ain't the worst for him though.
You know what I'm finding out in my 30s and stuff like that? The more I like my own time to myself, the more women want it.
Oh. Yeah,
I've been getting so happy with my own time.
Chris Rock and Sam Jackson. I don't know if they ever made, but did they ever do that song? It was a movie they did where they were investigating the behind the scenes stuff with Saw. But they were talking about it. Chris Rock had the coldest line. You can give a woman a year full of Tuesdays and she's gonna complain about the 2 Saturdays she didn't get. And it's got to be the way they want it. And I'm like, but the cool thing is you gotta fight for your time, because if you don't, like, I'm like, you got to write it out. It's 24 hours in a day. I got to work 8 of them. Hopefully sleep 8 of them. That's 16 right there to leave me with 8.
Find happiness with yourself. But unfortunately, I'm finding a lot of women have not found happiness with themselves. So they're looking for someone that kind of like.
They just do a lot of that stuff that they see on social media.
That's why they call hobbies corny. Because a man with a hobby is
right.
Found time.
Like, let that man play that game. Let that man do whatever. Shit happens, man. But anyways, let's go ahead, Jaden. Jaden Daniels' mama just.
She kind of good looking though.
No, I'm saying she is. She looks like the
She is banging.
Oh, you got this noise. You got the noise. She got the look like the lady from A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. With like right in that picture right there, like. like no, I'm saying like she's light skinned too, so like you can't trust light skinned women no further than like she's like just it's colder than a light skinned girl's heart. Like you just gotta that again. The funniest part in all of this is she knows what women want because she is them. It takes one to know one. Women love to hit that. Would you let your daughter date you? No, nigga. Would you let your son date you? That's the biggest question. And no, she would not. But yeah, man.
So that video we showed was at Brendan Ayuk's wedding, a former teammate of Jaden Daniels back in the Arizona State University days. Maybe their mom knows. Maybe Jaden Daniels' mom remembered Brendan Ayuk from the team. I don't know, but she did pop up like Dr. Umar in the back there, so that was funny to see. Next, we got a sad video coming out of the Los Angeles Chargers organization. Excuse me. So Quadarius Davis was allegedly captured on camera assaulting his girlfriend, Jayana Monet, after she broke up with him. In the footage, Joanna Monet appears to be losing consciousness as Davis restricts her breathing and cuts off her circulation before dragging her to the side. And this is her response to this video. Quote, "I'm okay. My downstairs neighbors got cameras. My upstairs neighbors got cameras pointed directly towards my door. Everything is captured. I called the police. My neighbors called the police. I will be pressing charges, and no, I am not going back. I'm the one who initiated the breakup because so many red flags were occurring."
That's right, girl.
Right, for real.
Like I don't know, people be thinking I'm like, nah, dog. That you right. Get him out of there. Get him out of Dodge. In apartments, them ain't even the good apartments. Nah, man, get him out of there.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes. No. Yeah. Like I hope did they call the police that night? Did he go to jail that night? I hope he went to jail that night. Oh, yep. Yeah, right there, the drag. Get his ass out of the NFL. I don't need no more info.
Right.
I don't need no. Oh my God, he just dropped. Oh my goodness. Nah, bro. There's no love in that. I don't need no context. I don't need no nothing, bro. There is no reason that your big ass should be choking people out like that. Like I go to jail, do not pass go, do not collect $200. See, what's her name? Shout her out again.
Miles, hit the button, Miles. Hit the new button. Yep.
Oh, that one too.
She is banging.
Let me see, because does she need a
Oh, I didn't see this. I was looking at a different thing.
She looked like she got the right amount of ratchet. Like a right amount, like
is banging.
The good sprinkle of like ratchetness. And like maybe okay, like but the thoughts them that tat thigh that was it that leg sleeve always worries me. But
he must have been showing crazy before. She did say red flags. She
Ooh.
did say she ain't coming back. So I appreciate.
Please do not come back, baby. You oh. He saw these pictures. He saw the arch and said, "No, ma'am." That is, man. What always strikes me is you choked her out and you left her on the ground, stepped over her, walked up. There was no moment of now.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care if what she said. I do know that people have, but you need to learn how to you need to learn how to keep your hands to yourself if you can't control your rage. And I am not okay with that. You need to get your ass out of there.
From the looks from the looks of the apartment, I guess Davis didn't assume the patrons would have cameras.
It's not like he just like said, nah, this is the poor. These poor people can't afford $100. I don't even know what the Ring or Vivian or any of those things cost.
There's no way. Oh,
Nah, his parents gonna be like, damn, son, hell wrong with you?
God. But it said after she broke up with him, so he might just be insane. Period.
No, I think so. Like you, man. Again, this is where I don't even want to say this is lack of fatherhood. This is a lack of male mentorship. Like, why are you that upset, bro?
Yeah.
I mean, she bad. Don't get me wrong. Like, she nice, but the minute she says I'm it's actually like content where like guys like comedians are doing this. When the girl said, I don't know why I'm messing with you, I'm done with you, and blah blah blah. She opens the door and then she hears and it closes it. She hears laughing on the inside, opens the door back up. He already with the new chick. Like, but like, you know, again, I'm happy that she went about this. I hope she full this extent of the law, baby. Do not pump the brakes. Hit him with the civil too. Get your chips. Like, make him pay for that.
Got a longer video on her Instagram account right here.
Oh, they got multiple angles, man. Yeah, bro, Hambone. She tried to get out. Oh, he yoked her up. This is disturbing.
He should be in jail for a long time.
It is disturbing.
This is already kidnapping, right?
You have literally escorted her from one place that she did not want to be at against her will.
Insane. It's not comparing, but this hits me in a place worse than the Ray Rice one.
Yeah.
That's that Simpson.
Man. Like Ray Rice could at least say, man, it was a moment.
Yeah,
because Ray Rice just it's not funny, but Ray Rice caught her with that hit, that whoop city. But like this right here, man, to choke somebody out, you gotta do a lot, man.
Right.
Damn. Fuck him. Get his ass out of there. Get his ass out of there, bro. Your mentally unstable ass.
How do people like this get the way they do background checks in the NFL and in college football? How do we hide these people?
I think some people have made excuses for him. Like man, yes, people make excuses for him, and then she said she saw the red flags.
That part I did hear. I looked at. I was like,
what I always tell the people, I want to know. Actually, the pop balloon button, not a balloon button. A guy did this thing where he asked about this lady. He asked her to talk about her baby, her father's children. She was like, oh my God. She's like, I don't have one. He said, is there anything good that you learned from the father of your children? She said no. Pop. She said, you can't tell me you procreated with somebody and there's not one good thing that you learned from this person. That's a terrible decision on your part. And what I always tell people is I overly take accountability. I know what my problems are with my exes. It was on me. That doesn't mean they were good people. That just means that, like, hey, I had something to do with that. You got to ask these people, why are you, like, again, like, even her, like, I'm not saying that she was clearly the victim here. Why, baby, you are pretty. Why are you single? When you start peeling back them onions, you start realizing, like, for every pretty bitch, there's a dude tired of her shit.
And then money and opportunity.
Also, like, the other thing too is like, yes, he's the bell cow. Yeah, right. So, but I'm like, you got to investigate these people. Stop dating losers. There's a whole statistic, a real statistic, about women. Like I remember I told you, like I think it's. Hold on, let me make sure I don't want to say it the wrong way because I put it. It was on IG the other day, and women be like, you like, oh man, you're embellishing. You don't do. I said it ain't but so many men out here fucking, and the men who it ain't but so many of us that have the have multiple kids. Shit. Hold on, let me pop this thing. Oh, here we go. There is this post Black men in America. Here it is. 7% have 4+ children. 7% have 3+ children. So that's 14%. 15, almost 30% of all Black men with multiple children have multiple women. Have it from multiple women. Now, of that, after that, 17% have one kid. Only 57% of Black men have kids. I mean, excuse me, 57% of Black men don't have kids. So only 43% of Black men have had some pussy that they've nutted in.
I always wrap it up. I just don't.
No, I'm with you. Smart. But what I'm saying is, of that 43%, of that 43%, a very small percentage have this. You know what that tells me? It's not saying that just because you have multiple baby mamas, you're a bad person. It just means that the world flourishes with the futures. Like you're more likely to procreate with a man who's already had, and that's honestly a natural instinct because you've seen this person be able to one, the fact that you're having sex puts you in a situation where you actually are attractive enough to actually replicate your body. From that, they see that you actually have experience in replication. So your natural body tells you that. So all I'm saying is, man, when they say women have a lot of kids too, but that comes from only 39% of women don't have kids. Only 39%, but 10% of 10% of Black women that have kids have 10% of Black women have 4+ kids. You know what that means? It's a different meaning. It means she got good pussy.
That's the whole security. I remember when I was first going to college from Boston to Penn State, I couldn't tell you how many of my exes were talking about baby talk. Like, all right, bro, I'm getting out of here. Y'all never go. I'm going to school. But as soon as people sniff like some sort of security or future, as awful as it sounds, they don't really care about it.
That's what I'm saying. They buy it's stocks and bonds. But
yeah.
Anyways, all right. Feel bad for that girl though.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Press them charges, baby.
Get that bag. Oh, did he?
Now, was he? You said he played with the Chargers. He's with the Chargers, right, Jaden?
I'm trying to think. Was he on the rookie?
Yeah. Let me search it up, but I know he went to Southern for college. I knew you were gonna. Why you had to say that, James? I did that on purpose.
Cut already. He's already cut. Come on, brother. You making HBCUs look bad, man. You already barely there.
Well, he doesn't even have the bag for her to go after.
Nah, she need to take whatever he got. Get a little bit. That's tough, man. Anyways, let's go on to the next thing.
To end on a happy note?
Yeah, this is negative.
Oh no, we still got some more stuff to run through, but Bears reached an agreement today on a 3-year, $40 million extension that includes $31.25 million guaranteed with cornerback Kyler Gordon. This is our money move segment of the day. The deal now makes Gordon the NFL's highest paid slot corner and contractually ties him to Chicago through the 2028 season. Now we got some GM news coming from Las Vegas. Max Crosby is being named the assistant general manager of football at Eastern Michigan University. Crosby becomes the first active NFL player to hold the position. He will now help Eastern Michigan evaluate high school and portal prospects, manage its NIL budget, and also serve as special assistant to the AD on fundraising, alumni relations, and student-athlete support. So, James, what do you think about Crosby becoming the first active NFL player to hold that assistant general manager position?
This ain't no free. They paying for these jobs. All Max Crosby is basically what Max Crosby's is saying is that this is the new hustle.
Yeah.
It used to be. Now, this isn't me because I don't make NFL money. It used to be NFL players or pro players would set up their nonprofit, right? And they would put money, they would funnel money into their nonprofits to be able to pay their mom a job or do some other stuff. Now all these guys is doing is taking money and saying, you know what? I don't want my university to suck. So I'm going to funnel money. I'm going to take this money I was going to get taxed anyway, and I'm going to go buy people. And this is the new wave of buying people. And that's all it is, man. Like, hey, it's a title, man. That man ain't doing nothing. Like Steph Curry paying like whatever $1 million to be the GM of wherever he went to school at. Like these guys are just, it's a cool thing. Yeah, I think he's like, I'm going to pay $2 million. Give me this title as a resume booster. It keeps me in the news. And probably when it's all said and done, he can come back to his alma mater.
You want to spend your bread.
Now I know how to spend my bread. Right. Like if I had $10 million right now, I'm not just giving it to Mike. I love Mike Alford. I ain't just giving it to Florida State.
You got to give me. I want to be in charge.
I want to be in charge. Who are we trying to get? Like, what does this? Like James, man, this dude right here says he needs to make this much. Let me see this little Nicholas film. No, I'm not paying him that. That boy done lost his damn mind. Like, but I like it. It's a good. It's a move.
Just wanted to correct myself. I'm sorry for the fans who tuned into our last segment. Just want to reiterate that he did not play for the Chargers, but he did play for 3 teams in college, 3 HBCUs. Quay Davis, as he goes by, he played for Jackson State, Texas Southern, and Southern University, with his last season being last season in 2024. So he was currently, I guess, not in the NFL, or could have been searching for teams, going through that route, but his last stop was at Southern University in 2024.
Oh, he just a cop, man. Put that dude in there. Like, man, fuck that. Get him out of here. No redeeming quality, man. Not even good in football, and you out here doing this? Get out of here.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. And
I hope Big Bubba does the same thing to you right before y'all take a shower. Put your ass to sleep and then have at it.
Man. We're going to transition from Bubba to the NBA playoffs. Now, the NBA playoff seeds are here, so I'm going to take some time to explain this before James makes his pick. So we're starting out at the far right of the picture on the east side. So you have the Bulls and the Heat playing, and the Magic and the Hawks playing their play-in games. So if you guys will look at this graph, the winner of the Bulls versus the Heat goes to play the loser of the Magic and Hawks. So the winner of the 9th and 8th seeds will move on to the 8th spot to play the Cavs, and the winner of the Magic and the Hawks seed will go on and play the Celtics for that in that 7th seed. Same rules applies for the West, just different teams. So you see here, the seeds are in. James, if you just had to pick one team, or to pick 2 teams, one from the East, one from the West, to make it to the NBA championship, who are you picking and why?
Lakers. Because I just need some fuel. I don't really have any other real reason why. I don't know if they're good enough to even do this. I had a question. And Jaden, you can help me out here more. Like, and I know this is just this year. So the play-in game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get why, like, the East Coast looks like close, right? So like the Heat are 7 games back of Detroit, but like they're 4 games back of the last place. Like I said, like that's 7 to 10. Like those guys are really like close, right?
Uh-huh.
But have you seen the West Coast?
Mm-hmm.
Like Golden State and Memphis are both 8 and 9 games better than the other teams. Like, am I wrong? Can you pull up the bracket again? Why are Golden State and Memphis playing each other and the other teams are so far away from them?
It's
Like,
because
does that not look bad to anybody else? Or am I wrong for the way I'm thinking?
It's been going on for the discourse has been surrounding this for a couple of years, for I would say at least 5 seasons now, about the East being significantly worse than the West. Obviously, with the record discrepancies, the 7 and 8 seeds on the West are much better teams than the Magic and Hawks on the East side. So that just goes into the overall discussion of the lack of parity between the conferences.
But what sucks in all of this is, so I kind of need the Magic to win. The East. Because they're all 7-game series now, right?
The playing games
No,
are
the
one
playoffs.
game.
Once they get the playoffs.
Yeah, they're all 7 games.
So it's 2-2-1-1-1. 2 home games. The reason why I'm saying that because I want to go to the NBA game, so like I could get credential for the Magic way easier. And I would like to go to the Magic versus the Celtics. The Heat would be tougher. I can't get none of these other teams I can get credential for.
Yeah, I don't even think I'm not even sure the Magic could beat the Hawks, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah, they might lose just because I don't know. It's obviously with the lower seed teams, anything could go, but I don't think the Magic. I don't know. They had some trouble with injury this past season with Paolo Banchero being hurt, Franz Wagner being hurt. They recently came back, but it's hard with Trae Young, man. You know, he can go off, get a double-double, 20 something points, 12 assists, and do his thing. But yeah, I hope you can get the chance to go watch the Celtics and Magic, but the Magic would definitely get swept if they made it there. Moving on to some more NBA news, James. You mentioned the Lakers, and boy, is this an interesting fact right here. So, these are the top selling NBA jerseys for the 2024-2025 season, and it's no surprise that Luka Doncic's Lakers jersey was the number 1 highest selling jersey in the 2024-2025 season. It's noted that you guys should note that Luka was traded from the Dallas Mavericks to the Los Angeles Lakers on February 2nd, 2025. So his Lakers jersey has only been on the market for about March, April, 2 months now, and it's already the highest selling jersey in the entire NBA.
And they say LeBron doesn't make people better.
Then you got Steph Curry coming in at number 2, LeBron James at number 3, Jason Tatum at 4, Brunson, Wembanyama, AE, Ja Wick, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Nikola Jokic,
Hold on, I want
Giannis,
us to repeat. Who's at number 8?
Ja Wick.
Everybody's saying that their YN is crashing out and not making no. All he do is prove people wrong. The grenade celebration is the grenade celebration is lit.
Definitely is lit. Then you got Giannis, LaMelo Ball coming in the top 15, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and last, Jaylen Brown at that number 15 spot. Just wanted to share this with you all, just so you can see how crazy it is that Luka Doncic, who had the top selling NBA jersey, even though that jersey's only been in existence for 2 months. So just want to share this with you guys. Hope you found it interesting. And to to finish off this part of the show before we get into big games BS, just wanted to talk about this right quick. Not going to spend too much time on this, but Rory McIlroy won the Masters. He completed a career Grand Slam, winning the U.S. Open in 2011, following by the PGA Championship 2012 and 2014, the Open in 2014, and now he can complete his Grand Slam with the Masters Tournament W for this year. So huge shout out to Rory for doing your thing. And keep up the good work. Keep shining, my boy. Now we're going to cover the more popular culture topics surrounding the discourse online. And boy, we got a treat for you guys today. One of these clips right here for you. Sorry, my computer is taking a little while to load. Can you guys hear me still?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So let me just share this with you guys, and then we can get our big games BS segment started. Okay, my computer loaded, so I'm going to share this screen with you guys right here. So the Ohio State Buckeyes went to the White House for their national championship ceremony, and Vice President J.D. Vance dropped the trophy during the ceremony. So going to share this with you all. Let us know what you think. Is this the biggest fumble or what?
Yeah, get that shit away from him. I get politics, man, and vote for who you want to vote for, but like, let's stop trying to make these people look like tough guys and athletes, man. JD Vance is not a person who I want fighting for me, like fighting with me at all. Like he looks uncomfortable around jocks. The only thing he covered jocks. He looks like he might like jocks, but like he don't like them like that. So, but yeah, that was a hell of a fumble. Way to fuck up. I'm suing the White House to get my trophy fixed if I'm Ohio State. This is what happens when you're scared of diversity. This is what it looks like when you're scared of. Go back to it. I know how you broke it. Like we just see all that diversity, equity, and inclusion surrounding them. Like it just shook him. Let's shook him to his core. Oh man, he was surrounded by blacks. He got shook. Oh man, you see they didn't give little hands, man. They just let him hold the helmet over there. Even though I fucks with 4.5.47.
Next, we got some rich people BS coming out of the Blue Origin Company. So let me share this with you all. Katy Perry, Lauren Sanchez, Gayle King, and the rest of an all-female crew expressed gratitude to Blue Origin rocket ahead of their launch. So they went on a launch into low orbit space, and I just wanted to share Gayle Video's reaction on getting back onto the ground. And you know, black people do not play, and Miss Gayle do not look like she enjoyed this space trip.
She is nervous. She wants all that attention on her walk. Is that my dog? Yep.
Yep, that was Jeff Bezos, and his girlfriend was the lady standing right in front of him. Just wanted to share that with the fans. And James, we're going to cap off this show with something you posted that I thought was hilarious. And the phrase we're going to call this is back teeth. Pause. So, James, we got this picture of Chris Brown at Coachella with his ex, Karuchi, making her cheese. So I just want you to give us your future sermon aka the Navidius sermon, of what this picture really means.
Hey, listen, bro. I'm gonna tell you this. As a man, there's a lot of things that we may not know. This world is confusing dealing with women. But if your girl is laughing like this and she's showing all her incisors, bruh, she gone. And what's worse is, it is no matter what time of year, man. Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Easter, 4th of July, Juneteenth. I'm gonna tell you something. Like, men, just if you're a good dude, just realize this. It is always get your girl back season. Chris Brown got this girl with them teeth. If Carucci, if you are Carucci's man, break up with her now. She is saturated down there. There is a whole fucking rainstorm down there. I see my girl laughing this hard around anybody. I turn to me. I ain't saying that the dude for Southern is gonna happen, but I'm saying you're gonna have a lot of questions to answer. Well, ain't nothing that funny. But Chris got that girl with all her teeth showing, boy. And Carucci, he could have got whatever he wanted to get up out of Carucci that time, boy. Say what y'all want to say.
I got the video right here too in 4K.
Ooh. Ooh. He ain't done put her in a song too. Come on, you want me to say it? Carucci. Oh, wait a minute. He said it in the Fuck You Back to Sleep remix. He probably said something to her like that. I'm sorry. Chris Brown is a guy who Chris Brown is if Chris Brown didn't have that one incident when he found out he got burnt by Riri, he would be considered the greatest musician of our lifetime. That man is amazing. I love Chris Brown songs. And ironically, I did not understand his music until after that. But I started liking his music.
Shout out to Angelo in the chat. Yes, the WNBA draft is going right now. The first pick is in. The Dallas Wings selected Paige Borkers at the number 1 spot. So
our Pilgrim.
Huge shout out to her balling. She averaged 20 points per game, 3 out of the 4 seasons at UConn. So good to see her get drafted number 1. And the picks are rolling in. But James, that is all for today that we had on the Big Games BS. Any last words for the fans out there? We got 399 in, 358 from the Twitter, 22 on the YouTube. Y'all need to slide to the YouTube, please, and 19 on the Sports Den Live. So any last words to all the fans we got listening right now?
Yeah, man. Outside of that, just appreciate everybody. We're still trying to grow the YouTube channel. Shout out to y'all for listening on Twitter. Please check us out on the YouTube. Monday, Wednesday, Friday night, but normally in the morning. Summertime, we will be shifting to the afternoon because we got to train and get stuff right. Slowing down the traveling a little bit going on. But outside of that, we'll be doing tons of draft breakdown and draft talk coming up here in the next couple weeks. Add to the show anything that you want. Appreciate those who are in the chat. We're about to start launching the book bag drive. Outside of that, appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me. We will see you guys next time.